The first ever IPL champions back in the year 2008, led by cricketing legend Shane Warne. The Rajasthan Royals have been looking for another silver since, but they've missed out on it a couple of times. Just like in the year 2022, where after an insane campaign, they just missed out against a star-studded Gujarat Titans team. And so, this time, they would want to finally get it over the line and finally get another trophy in their hands and continue the legacy. But how are they going to make a squad good enough for that? And that's what we're going to do. We're diving into the auction preview. Starting with the retentions. They used the entire retention quota, retaining captain Sanju Samson, who's coming back of an insane form with 3 centuries in his last 5 T20I matches, had an insane series against South Africa. Yashasvi Jaiswal, one of the most promising players in the Indian lineup right now, very explosive batsman. Rian Parag has got the all-round ability to himself. Drew Jurel right now is in the Gordagaskar Trophy waiting to shine, and there were concerns about his price tag, and maybe R did overpay for him, but he is a player with a really high potential, and I think people will underestimate him, how quality of a player he is. Sherman Hetmeyer also has that West Indian prowess in him. His striking abilities, we have seen it in the past. It's great when it clicks. And finally, Sandeep Sharma came as an uncapped option. He showed very good quality last season, last IPL, providing good swing, was good in the death bowling. He was good everywhere. Now, initially, I did have mixed thoughts of this retention lineup. They missed out on Trent Bolt, Yuzvendra Chahal, and Josh Butler, 3 key players in the last 3 years. Looking at these retentions, they have a captain sorted out. They have 2 keepers in the team. They're pretty much sorted out. But with a budget of only 41 crores, they won't have much to spend in the auction, so they have to do this smartly. The auction strategy pass is usually to buy a mix of youth and experience. They like to create a certain balance in the squad. And they like to also buy players in bargains. As in the past, we could see with Yuzvendra Chahal, Trent Bolt, Ravichandran Ashwin, who all came in a very cheap value, and Aura just picked them up. And we saw how insane of a team they made that year. So I don't see why they won't apply the same tactic again, considering their low budget too. The requirements going to the auction, they'll have to prioritize on some fast bowling, bringing in a frontline spinner, and also inject some overseas investment, with Sherman Hetmeyer the only foreign player in the team. So, diving into the options. For fast bowling, they could look to buy back Trent Bolt, Avish Khan, Nandra Berger, Prasad Krishna. Trent Bolt was very consistent in his 3 years, and no doubt has insane quality, and R should try their best to bring him back. I'm sure they will try their best. Avish Khan lacks a bit consistency, but the potential's there. Nandra Berger also had decent games in last IPL. Prasad Krishna was unlucky to miss out on the last 2 IPLs, so his market value will actually be pretty low and could come at a cheap price. Raj Lambani coming back of a really strong under 19 campaign. And you have Deepak Char, who actually represents Rajasthan domestic levels. Shao Thakur a bit out of form. Natarajan a bit out of demand. Josh Hazelwood, Jafar Archer, Spencer Johnson. All good players who won't go for the most expensive prices. And then you have Nordjan Stark. Quality players may come slightly more expensive, but could be looked into. And Mustafiz Rahman is another cheap option with a good death bowling quality in him. Now onto the spinners. They will for sure look to bring back Yuzvendra Chahal. He is the most consistent IPL bowler right now. In the last 5-10 years, he's been so consistent. No team should leave him out. And I feel R did miss an opportunity by not retaining him. So they would want to try to bring him back this auction. Ravichandran Ashwin is slightly on the older side, so I'm not sure whether he'd be looking too much, but he no doubt has quality, even with the bat. And you have Rahul Char and Manav Sutar, both who play for the Rajasthan domestic level. And then you have Noor Ahmed, Tikshar Hasaranga, some overseas spinners who are all 3 great spin options, will show you consistency. And Hasaranga even provides at the back. Other options, we have Suyash Sharma, Ravisai Kishore, Krunal Pandya, also very experienced right now, has great economy in his IPL career. Some other overseas investment they could look into, considering they still have a slot open for either their opening role if Sanju Samson doesn't fill it, and a little bit for the middle order. They might want to inject some overseas players in there, and they could look into Darryl Mitchell, Mitchell Marsh, Marcus Stoinis, all 3 who also provide a slight bowling option. Harry Brook is a very young, promising English batsman. Aidan Markram, slightly out of form. Johnny Bairstow has had a great IPL career. Glenn Phillips, an all-round player, ability, the best fielder right now in the world. And you have Robin Powell, who's involved in the franchise last year, who had a decent impact. Tim David, Will Jacks, Brandon King, Sikandar Raza, they're all great strikers of the ball and T20 specialists at the same time. And you also have Jacob Bethel, who's upcoming, promising, also provides a spin option. So who exactly might they invest on? The thing is, they have the lowest budget going to this IPL auction, so they'll have to spend it really smartly. They won't be able to get the players they want. So some potential options that are not expensive and might fit the Royals' profile could include Deepak Chahar. He could be like a trend bowler player. He's still 32. He's fantastic with a swing, or once deemed as the next Bhuvneshwar Kumar. And his IPL bowling stats speak for itself. He has good economy, good average, and loads of experience. Problem is, he is slightly injury prone. That in itself will also bring down his market value. He will come at a cheap price. And with that, his relative, Rahul Char, is also a good option. He can be their frontline spinner. He's still only 25, very young. He's shown his quality in the past. And his IPL bowling stats are also pretty good. With him being a local Rajasthan domestic player, I think Rajasthan Royals should look into purchasing him. He will for sure not be very expensive in the auction. Another player they actually might look into is Harry Brook. Now, hear me out. He's still only 25, very young. He is currently deemed as the future of England. He's also had slight experience in leadership. So he has the ability to anchor the innings, play an accelerated innings. And Rajasthan Royals are looking to replace Josh Buller right now, and they might look into Harry Brook for that. Back in the 2023 auction where Harry Brook first entered, they heavily bid it on him, only to get outbid by SRH. And even the auction following that, when he came back, they also bid on him, but missed out again. And don't forget, he also has a century to his name in the IPL. But all that are my thoughts, and it's very hard to actually figure out who Rajasthan Royals might target. But I know they will play this auction's part, and that's because they have this man, Rahul Dravid, in the team. Previously coached India, and I'm very excited to see him back in charge of Rajasthan Royals. So that's my thoughts regarding Rajasthan Royals' potential squad. I want you to drop your thoughts in the comment below. And if you enjoyed this video, like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching.